This video's late, but I'm sick. That time again, a mid-month update from developers showcasing their plans for the next mid-chapter update. Let's take a look. In fact, this is now live on the PTB because I wrote this script and I'm recording it late, but you know, whatever. The first set of changes comes to the content from chapter 16. That is the one that introduced Triangle Brain. This comes in the form of both a nerf and a buff. There's now an increased delay when cancelling Rites of Judgment, and the delay after attacking with Punish of the Damned is now reduced. Punish of the Damned? Punishment of the Damned, rather. This is actually something I predicted way back when the chapter first dropped. It felt strange for there to not be a delay when digging trenches, and allowed a lot of flexibility when trying to trick survivors. It's why I initially called him OP. The problem is that, although Coneface was first perceived as OP, his usage at higher ranks has fallen to pretty much nothing. You very rarely see him in red rank games these days, and nerfing this crucial part of his design does feel a little bit odd. The buff, on the other hand, doesn't look on paper to be that significant. The notes go on to say this is about making him more skill-based, which, fair enough. Let's wait and see what the exact numbers are when the PTB goes live, which is right now, but this script is out of date. Trail of Torment, Forced Penance, and Blood Pact are also all getting changes. Trail of Torment is no longer timer-based. You remain undetectable until the mark generator stops regressing or a survivor is put into the dying state. This is huge. So long as the generator you hit is no longer jumped back on, you could keep undetectable going for an entire chase, causing a huge amount of confusion to the survivor being chased. Even after injury, you remain undetectable, a feat that not even stealth killers like Ghostface have. Forced Penance now has a 20-second duration increase. Not much to say about that, but fair play. Blood Pact, much like Trail of Torment, is also no longer bound to a timer, and you retain the haste effect so long as you're within 16 meters of the other survivor. Awesome. There are a whole bunch of perks changing in this update too. Enemies necessary now has a cooldown of 60 seconds, down from 140, 130, 120. You know, again, blood points are lifting up pallets. Cruel Limits now has a radius of 32, up from 24. For the People now gives blood points. Mindbreaker now has a longer exhaustion effect by a few seconds. Slippery Meat no longer increases the chance of escaping bear tracks, but increases your chance to self-unhook. Why not just take Deliverance? Thanatophobia no longer affects heal speed, but the penalty on all other actions is now increased. We're Gonna Live Forever now has new ways of earning tokens, but we aren't being told which they are just yet, and it now increases healing speed when healing a dying survivor. Technician's chance of preventing a skill check explosion is 100%, but now adds a small penalty to all missed skill checks. Pop has been nerfed from having a 60-second duration to 45 seconds to add some urgency back to the perk. Whew! Next up, the perk rarity system has had an overhaul. Previously, perks seemed to be given a random rarity that didn't correlate to their effect or tier. Now, the rarity is directly linked to their tier. Tier 1 is uncommon, Tier 2 is rare, and Tier 3 is very rare. This is an attempt to make it easier to find where your perks are on your perk list and tell what a perk is at a glance. Graphics update. Finally, we're getting new graphics on the Macmillan estate. I've already done a video on that, so I'll let you go check it out. Personally, I'm not massively infused over these changes. They seem like quality of life alterations more so than sweeping updates, and that's totally fine. It doesn't come with a whole lot of fanfare. The changes, for the most part, are good and reflect a commitment to keeping the game's balance in check as needed. I just wish there was more of a focus on top-level play. PTB opened, I should say, on September 29th, and no doubt there'll be some alterations to these stat changes as player feedback comes in. Thanks for watching, and see you in the fog. By the way, I'm going to be doing live podcast recordings every Sunday at 11 AM over on my Twitch. So if you've been enjoying Dead by Podcast and want to watch it recorded live, then go and watch that. It'll still be posted on this channel in a slightly more edited way. But the reason why we're doing this is to basically save me editing time and add some additional content over onto the Twitch for weekends. So yeah, I stream Mondays to Fridays at some point between 7 and 8 PM. You should come watch, or don't, you know, that's up to you.